Does that mean nga siya na ang inyo kandidato?
My heart is saying yes.
Does that mean nga madlagan na siya?
My heart is saying yes.
Does it mean nga masaylo na di siya?
My heart is saying yes.
Sir Vladdy, first of all, thank you for dropping by.
Yes.
You've been running a new Facebook page, and it's called Albee for
Mayor.
2022, no? It has gathered, based on your posts, it has gathered at least 1,000 followers in less than 24 hours. Now, what are you trying to push on this Facebook page?
First of all, thank you again for inviting me sa imong sikat nga programa. And I'm really honored to be here and excited to, to be interviewed by one of the most distinguished kag mayugid nga journalist. And I'm challenged every time in this interview. Well, to answer your question about sa group actually nga create naton, it is a very overwhelming response, no? Nga the turn of event is very fast. I created that group actually like less than 2 days pa lang, and we're talking barely of like 30 hours pa lang siguro from the time it was created. And it is very overwhelming. On the first 24 hours, it already invited around 1,000 members. So, amo tong gin-challenge ko sila nga in the next 24 hours, why can't, no, the first actually 12 hours, it was 1,000 already. Then I challenged those 1,000 members to make it 2,000 in less than 24 hours. And very overwhelming nga indeed, it reached 2,000 within 24 hours. So the next level nga gina-challenge ko, I call them Army for Change, is to reach 4,000 in 48 hours. As of the moment, as we speak, it already reached around 2,600 probably members and counting. So para sa akon, it's a very overwhelming response. And I think wala pa magid ginasiling nga ginatawag nga snowball, but the symptoms are there.
The symptoms
Yes.
of a snowball.
Yeah.
Or let's say pandemic.
Yeah. No, ara na, no? Because you see, it's not only ang numbers of the members. It is about the quality of members and how they engage themselves into discussion and in their comments nga kanami gid. And in fact, sa ini nga page, as I noticed, daw ka minimal lang gid sang trolls. Most of the accounts are real accounts as we speak.
So, do you think that this is actually an indication of genuine citizen participation because discourse is always welcome,
Yeah.
Whether face-to-face or online. We need to talk about things that affect us
Exactly.
as a city, as a society. And sadly, ang Facebook is also a venue for the anonymous. Aside from your page, may mga pages di. May mga anti-administration pages, but most of them, as you have pointed out, trolls ang gasulod. And what I don't like about online discussion is the level of discourse. May ara sang discourse nga laban, ang tawag na term nila subong flaming and bashing, pakalainon ng tao, and it's happening. But as you have pointed out and as I have seen, ang sa inyo is more about the discourse, civilized discussion about issues.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. No, because again, mediums, platforms in social media can be in anything. So it really depends on, in this case, kung sino nag-administer ang moderate. So, may mga rules and regulations nga standards wherein how much you tolerate mga posts which obviously nga hindi pwede. Actually, it's bago pa man lang, no? That's why it's a challenging task also on how you will, filter all those other personalities, especially mga trolls, as they say. As we go along, I think nakita ko man ang trend nga people halos wala kita sa mga fake accounts, which is very encouraging. So
Tuod nga tao.
yeah, and I would say nga this will be a high level platform discussion in a group wherein we can share our views, our ideas, anti or not, for as long as it's objective. Why gina yung problema? Para sa akon personally, hindi na ko nga ang magusto ko nga makita nga comments, hindi lang puro praises, kundi negative man eh. I mean, it has to be balanced. Hindi man, nobody's perfect. I'm sure, maskin ano pa na nga tao, sometimes hindi mo man may bitar, may hisa, may whatever reason they have, and we welcome that for as long as it's an objective criticism, nga wala lang bala below the belt. Because nasubuan ko gani actually sa tuod-tuod lang nga people in Bacolod in general daw naka-adapt na bala sang attitude for the past 20 years, I believe. Kung sino gani nga personality nga ginatos mo, ginapush mo, or ginapakilala mo, nga it could be a potential leaders, gina-attack dayon sa ang ila personality. More than that, mga below the belt pa. I will guarantee you, since ako man may control sining nga group page, it will be high-level discussion nga wala below the belt. And we already anticipated nga damo ni siya mga trolls nga magwa, including mainstream media. So, that's how it goes.
What do you mean?
What I meant is, though for the longest time, like what you can see today, but I'm speaking ako man na experience for the past 7 months, nga ready na bala ang ilang mainstream media on radio to hit you.
You're referring to the black timers.
I'm referring to the black timers. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you for clearing that up. Hindi tanan. But for the black timers, nga though naanad na bala sila nga every time election is coming, they are already there, ready to bark, ready to kill, ready to destroy the character of the person personally and below the belt. But as much as possible, amo ginang ginasulod sa ulo ko kag in this group nga hindi gid kami mag bait sang paon. Let them do it. Kung binastos ang ginahambal nila, the character, I believe people are intelligent enough. And the more na nila himuon, the more it will reflect kung what kind of leader ang ilang nga ginapush. And I'm sure Albee Benitez hindi na mag-tolerate, akiga niya pa na ang mga leaders who carries his name. I'm sure he will not tolerate nga his leader will go below the belt, nga you will assassinate ang karakter, masiling ka, kawatan ka, agi ka, or whatever nga mga accusation. 100% for a very short period of time nga nakilala ko si Boss Albee, you will really see ang personality speaks a lot. Amo nang ginahambal permi, the medium is the message. So, kung ang imo leader, amo na, you should reflect. Because kung diin kaya makadto, you're representing him. And I am honored nga to represent him. I can see a lot of things that I will learn from the guy. The wisdom, the calmness, and the confidence. Damo-damo ko na matunaan sa iya. That's why gatihin man ko, gaandam ko. And hindi ko gusto mag-push sa iyang ngalan nga mahuyan siya. Kaya kung mahuyan siya, mahuyan ko. That's why that is the kind of leadership I can see that is about to come in within the city of Bacolod.
I'll go to that later. We will talk more about Kong Albee, but
Yeah.
I'll go first sa imo experience as a public figure. Tikagi kadlagan vice mayor, mayor, and if I'm not mistaken, kadlagan ka congressman, no?
Wala.
Wala. So it's mayor and vice mayor. What was the worst nga nabato nimo nga criticism or attack, if you can remember?
Well, I've tested myself because para sa akon, politics is unfamiliar territory. I am not born, trained to be a politician. So, human as I am, ma-hurt ka man mo.
Anong nag-hurt gid sa imong aligasyon?
I'm trying to control myself, my feelings. Though, it's better gani nga ako ang tirahon. Hindi lang pamilya ko. But they did it. They did it. Pero again,
By pamilya, you mean your kids or ang
kids,
wife nimo?
relatives, basta anybody. Because amo na bala, nga, you know how the devil works.
I remember si Arif na dala sa pagani.
Well, Arif is my half-brother.
Oo.
Again, amo tong the time when that issue came out, anong posisyon ni Vadimir Gonzales? As a brother, it is my obligation to provide him lawyer, to provide him whatever he needs, because he's my brother. But I'm not my brother's keeper. Let the law take its own course. Why ko na siya ginapinan, and I will never tolerate kung nagsala. If it will be proven, which is it was not, after politics, wala naman to, why gid ko yung problema? Kung mapriso siya, and that includes my children, I will still do what a father would do. Dulungan ko siya pagkaon, I'll provide whatever I can as a father. But I will never tolerate if ang mga laws has been violated or may naapakan, naagrabyado ka nga tao.
If I'm not mistaken, ang doon nagdala sa itong gindragid ang ngalan was your daughter.
It was natural because as expected. Because Bacolod politics is really amo na kadamak. And they have been used to that. Of which amo ning opportunity subong nga by God's grace, I think it is a process, timing, and para sa akon, the prayers of the people has been heard after so long a time. This is not about Albee. I think this is about the people of Bacolod.
Tell us something about this agenda nga ginapush ninyo. What is this?
I would say it's not even an agenda per se.
Or a platform?
It is something that the time has come that somebody like Albee Benitez should come into the picture. Let me make it this clear. Albee Benitez does not need help.
Why so?
It's the people of Bacolod that needs help. So, para sa akon is, just like me in the past, it is more of a sacrifice than a luxury or a position. All the more si Albee. He has so many obligations. He has so many things in his hands. Hindi ko na napag-isa-isahon, kaya I don't even really know him sa iyang mga ventures, but I am certain ang iyaning horizon is so wide for him to sacrifice his time to come into Bacolod and fix and save what needs to be saved. So, para sa akon, gusto ko na malain ang paradigm shift of mindset sang tao nga magsulod si Albee. It's not about money. I'm certain of that. It's not about money. Kaya kung kwarta pag-istoryahan, he has the money. But what I am telling our people in the barangay, our leaders in the purok is, Albee will be coming in, not because of money. It's because he has something to offer.
Will be coming in.
Will be coming in. Because hindi na siya magsulod just because he has money. No. He will be coming in because the basic of basic services nga pwede niya ibulig sa tao. Amo na dapat ang mindset kag maintindihan sang pumuluyo diri sa syudad sa Bacolod. Anhon mo na ang 1,000, anhon mo na ang 2-3,000 when the basic services are gone.
Mhm.
And that has been proven sa 3rd District. Result speaks for itself. If I may quote him, saying, you know what? Subong bala, though hindi na ako kinanglan sa 3rd District. That's the reason why siguro sa last election wala na siya nagbadalagan kay feeling niya daw hindi na siya kinanglan sa 3rd District. And the next question was, why so? And he was humble enough of saying, siguro the basic services has been delivered, mabatyagan, na hindi na ko nila kinanglan. And he continued of saying, you know what? Way back in 2010, when he first ran as congressman, he started his campaign for change in 2008. During that time, he said, I was explaining what change is all about. Ginaisa-isa niya, nanaog siya, explaining na there's so much things to be done to change and to innovate. Meaning to say, damo siya nga pwede ipasulod nga nakita nga pwede gid ma-improve the lives of the people. And he explains that. History can judge him.
Mhm.
He served for 3 terms or 9 years.
Yeah.
And the difference today, as I continue quoting him, siguro subong nga chimpo lain. I don't have to explain change. Because there is a big clamor of change here in the city of Bacolod. Mayara siya program nga I-Help. What's I-Help is infrastructure, health, education, livelihood, and policy making. Very simple.
I'll go to that later, no? Because ang question always is, if you look at it from the political history sang Pilipinas, we always have certain periods in our time nga we look to a strong leader. We need someone to lead us, and in some cases, ang term ganito, to save us.
Correct.
But are we necessarily saved? Like, I mean, some people are pointing out, so now we thought Digong was the savior, but of course, I won't go to that, no? Ang point ko lang, pero ang hambal ni mo, definitive ang tone eh. he will come to Bacolod? Is it definite that he is running?
You know what, Julius? 7 months ago, when I started to stand up, I'm grounded of the thoughts that the only way this administration can be changed is divine intervention.
Mm-hmm.
The only way for us to be victorious should be God's way. We have proven it in the past that our ways inferior sa ilang organization. They're strong, organized, awash with cash during election, uphill battle. But yet, wala ko na natinag. It's not about how strong the enemy is. My decision was win or lose. I stand by my principle that I will never, ever concede the chance of a better and progressive Bacolod. That's why, in my own rights, makasiling ko ya ang kabataan ko, bilakadlaw. Si Papa ko ya, wala na ya nahadlok, magtindog. Regardless of the kind of battle ahead, for as long as he believes in his heart what is right and what are the things to be done. That's why gahambal ko. You remember when the first interview, that I would surely give way to Kong Albee Benitez if and when he decides. It's a process. You know, little steps creates big result. Just have to be perseverance is the key. Patience. Continue. Because amon man ang faith naton eh. You know, may galantaw man sa babaw. Masiling ka sa umpisa. You have faith and you admitted nga it's God's way. And along the journey, you will be anxious, you will be worried nga kaano naman himuon ko. I'm definite may galantaw sa babaw mo. Kay gapati ko ya, the faith that you have trusted will be tested and it should be the same faith sa finish line.
Mm-hmm.
Nga kung masiling ka God's way, it's God's way. And I truly believe now that God is slowly testing that faith. That somehow God will use it. Has to be God's plan. It has to be God's perfect way. And it has to be in God's perfect time. So, for me, I'm witnessing it in front of me.
Mm-hmm. So, Albee Benitez, to you, is sent by God?
My faith speaks loud, very loud. Nga tanan kita, ginausan man lang kita.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I felt that those faith were translated of preparing for this.
Yes. But then again, that faith would largely depend on the decision of Albee Benitez.
Obviously.
If he will run.
Obviously. But my faith is saying
that he will.
he will.
He will. Any indicators?
You know, you can see his body language. You can read between the lines. People are skeptical. Then one indicator is, in any public discussion, did he ever deny of not running?
Mm-hmm.
That's the indication. Wala sa may deny.
Wala.
Then you're answering your own question.
Mm-hmm. But then again, ako as a reporter, I always try to not speculate.
Exactly.
Because ang body language in the first place, why man kami kamit personally mo nga face-to-face. Kamo pirmi kamo kakitanay. But did he ever deny to you nga madlagan siya?
No.
No. So that is personal, kamo ya mismo.
Yes.
Mhm. Did you ever ask him kung madlagan siya?
You know that kind of question, things happen in the island of Lacawon.
In the island of Lacao.
And I will stop from there.
Okay, okay.
I would
okay.
I would like to see that thing na ikaw na mismo ang mamangkot sa iya. What really happened
Let's talk
in
about
the island?
Let's talk about that incident in the island of Lacawon, which happens to be owned, but for now by you.
For now, by you.
Oo.
Daw ka prophetic, how?
And dito kay may list ka, pila lang ka tuig na.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Nanong natabo to?
Ga-catch lang ko because, you know, you're a very intelligent interviewer. I have to be very, I have to be, how do you call that? Very observant. And it's true, basi maging partners pa kami da.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay,
Because
sorry.
he was also into leisure eh.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. And I mean, with the resources he has, anything is possible to, no? Pero let's talk about that incident. Saan no to natabo?
Okay. First, we talked privately sa Manila for more than an hour or almost 2 hours. That's where I lay everything. True to what I said in the first interview, nag-approach ko each and everyone. Like Mayor Monico. Earlier on last year, ginkadtuan ko na siya. And leveling it off, nga kung may ara siya plan to run for any public or for mayor, I will, you know, step aside. Of which, I believe, out of that meeting, naghambal siya nga hindi siya, ay sa plano. I did the same sa ilan ni Attorney Kanya, si Giselle, Kong Karaps. Even Kanutan, I've talked twice with him. First one happened in January. And it was clear to me nga hindi siya magdalagan, hindi siya sa plano magdalagan. But when the time came nga daw nabatian ko naman nga daw may plano siya, I went back again to him. Just to clarify, because gapati Kuya Julius, that unification is the key nga may makahatag tsansa kay kung wasak kita.
So all along you've been doing these things silently, eh?
And sa suon mo.
Okay. Tell us something
Sino
about
gani
that.
si suon mo gani?
What? Sino pangkatuan mo? Lawagon tabiliwat. Monico,
Monico,
Giselle, Attorney Kanya,
Kanya,
Kong Karaps, Kanutan.
Kanutan.
Sino pa ginagusto mo dagan taniaw?
Si suon mo eh.
Sino gani?
Si June.
Okay. Ang suon ko si Councilor John Gamboa mo.
Yeah.
So ginistorya man siya.
Ginstorya ko na siya.
Kamo lang nga duwa.
Not only nga kay may nga duha, kundi in front of many people.
Is it true nga it happened during that meeting sa headquarters Kabang Lingkod?
Oh, that was the third or the fourth already.
Kag nagkamustanay ka mo?
Yes.
Okay.
Previous to that, several times man dito sa diri lang nga in front of many people. Ako nga daan Julius, why Kuya Pride nga tao. For the sake of unity, I extended my hands of reconciliation sa iya. Not only once, twice, or maybe more.
And can we say now nga nag-reconcile ka mo?
As far as I'm concerned, wala ko, how do we say? As far as I'm concerned, clear ng akong thoughts and mine. So, it's up for him. Why kuya baggage, why ko sang mga ginahakwat nga emotion as far as the both of us is concerned. So
Interesting.
kung may ara siya or wala, I hope wala na. So for the sake of unification.
So pali, in short, na istorya mo na ni ang tanan nga probables
Yes.
for mayor.
And only ang pinakaulihi amo ni siyang si Kong Albee Benitez.
Si Kong Albee. And what happened?
And that was the missing puzzle that I have to approach. And it took place like last month lang. Yeah, last month lang. So the rest is history.
Amo tong sa Manila?
Sa Manila, and what happened in the island remained in the island. And iyan na sila nakabalo magstorya.
Ano oras to sa isla? Nagastunod ang adlaw? May mga pispis nga galabay? Anong tabo? Sino ka romantic nga daan sang view da eh?
Very good. You know, things happen in the island. You know, kanami because the island automatically gives you peace, serenity, tranquility, and all other things. Kumbaga, ang imong mind galigwa.
Anong ginainom nyo? Martini, pineapple juice, vodka, beer na ano to, sir?
The devil is in the details, ha?
And that is why I'm asking.
Where for the first time in my life, amo pa lang to kadamuon ang nainom ko. Sa isa ka botilya, duha lang kami ni Boss Albee nakaubos.
Beer,
Whiskey.
whiskey. Ano nga brand?
Johnny Walker Blue.
Wow, blue. Wala sayad. So it was over a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue
I don't think so. That was just on the side of it.
on the side.
Kung di ko magsala, Boss Albee spent like from 9 in the morning until ginduloong ko siya sa speedboat 11 plus in the evening.
So more than 12 hours.
And there were two major decisions that was made.
Can you tell us kung ano na?
Hindi ko gusto mag-una sa iya.
Okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Why ko na go signal basi akiganta.
It's okay. Pero sir, ang inyo ginistoryahan, will it lead automatically to your stepping aside?
It's all the premise from the very start. It was all its premise. Number one, ga-agree gid si Boss Albee of the move for unification. And he said, I'm into it. I'm for it, and count me in for unification.
So you will, I would suppose that unification means that all opposing political forces will rally behind one candidate. And is that candidate you?
I gave way already on the idea nga siya.
So you gave way to him.
Exactly.
Does that mean nga siya na ang inyong kandidato?
My heart is saying yes.
Does that mean nga madlagan na siya?
My heart is saying yes.
Does it mean nga masaylo na di siya?
My heart is saying yes. But
Nakasaylo na siya, wala?
it's up to him because para sa akon, it's a sacrifice. Kita ko gidiya ang heart ni Boss Albee. He wanted to help people. But he has also ang ginaayo niya lang is, he has so much obligation also in his hands. That's why gahambal ko, him coming into Bacolod is a big sacrifice. Gidya.
I will go to the question, devil's advocate. If you have a man, as you have described, masyado kasako, how can he concentrate on the state of affairs of the city kung magdaog siya as mayor?
I can only speak as a businessman. Once a businessman commits, he values accountability. He values word of honor, and he values performance. Hindi na siya it's a big sacrifice because he has to sacrifice and devote his time of what he promised. He deliver niya ginaya. And that for me is a big sacrifice, big time. You know, in my own little way, sang ga-persevere ko of standing up for a better change of Bacolod, I am sacrificing my business. Ang time is money, as they say. I have to sacrifice that for the people of Bacolod. Ang pananaw sa isa ka negosyante, hindi niya luxury ang mag-serve sa gobyerno, kundi sacrifice. And I would say, to answer your question, he will sacrifice more just to fulfill kung ano magid ipromisa niya sa tao. Himuon niya ginaya. Because his name is more valuable than anything.
Okay, let's talk about that platform nga gina-push ninyo. Is this a platform built or formulated before Albee Benitez, or was it formulated because of Albee Benitez? Ano ni nga platform, sir?
I can only speak for myself. No? For the longest time, ang selection tas ang aton leaders is based on personality. Would you agree?
Personality. For the longest time.
For the longest time. Wala ko gani kabati sang program or platform or vision of what a leader should, explain to his constituent. It's all about machinery, ano ka bakod, kung hindi ka amo ni, amo ka ni. It's all about colors. Diri ni makita sang pumuluyo sang Bacolod na it will not be personality-based. It will not be money-based. It will be based on program that you can offer. The basic services, amo nang ginhambal ni Boss Albee. What's lacking in Bacolod, especially now, is health service. That's why the clamor for change is deafening. In all walks of life, makita mo, they want change. Hunger, gutom, and that's what Albee can offer.
Okay, but there are programs sa atong gobyerno that can actually institutionalize these things. Now, example, ang universal healthcare is actually under PhilHealth na subong. Why the need for someone to implement that? What else? Education.
You know what I've heard? Over and above PhilHealth, Kong Albee, what he did in the 3rd District, did more than that. Gin-augment niya pa ang healthcare.
So, augmentation.
Gindugangan niya pa. And what touched me, why I have a high respect of the person, because the story on the street, that one time, may nalabyan siyang antigulang, gamasakit. Ginpanaugan niya, ginpasakay niya sa iya Land Cruiser, pinadulong sa Riverside, ginsagot tanan ng balayran. That is a story to tell sa karakter ng tao. Wala ko nang dinabatian sa Bacolod. On the contrary, the symptoms, the sign of sickness, that during trying times nga ang tao diri sa syudad sa Bacolod gamalasakit, galambot as far as other cities, Cadiz, Silay, para lang magpagamot. You know what Kong Albee said about that? Sige lang, bilog man ang kalibutan. Bilog man ang kalibutan. So those things nakita niya. I think the man is made. More than made. I think he is returning back. He's paying back. Siguro ang blessings naman. Pay off. So amo nang gusto ko iklaruhon sang mga pumuluyo diri sa syudad sa Bacolod. Let's try to reset our mind. Ang ang politiko, ang mindset ta permi pila ang ekspektaron on the D-Day. Look what happened for the past 20 years probably or more. Wala gid ta nag-uswag. We should choose somebody that can really promise to deliver the basic services sa Pumuluyo. And proven and tested, I would bet my name also, my little name, that Albee Benitez will deliver that promise. Silawan ta naman ang bag-o. Amo nang pangabay ko sa syudad sa mga Pumuluyo sa syudad sa Bacolod.
Can we see a running mate in you? Does it mean nga ikaw na subong ang...
Actually, I've been asked maybe more than 100 times sa mga what I have started for the past 7 months sa mga tao ko. You know, na-consider ko mga galing self ko, hindi ko politiko.
Nga.
Because
Ang karakter mo, kutos ka kuno eh.
sa lugar,
Mhm.
hindi ko kutos in a sense nga kutos. In fact, hindi ko kabalo magsinggit kay sa mga tao ko on the field. Never ko na nila nakita nga nangakig ko sa ila sa field. Let me go back to that question because I've been answering it actually.
Sige, please, sir.
Siguro I've considered myself nga hindi ko politiko because in spite of what's going on, the fast turning of event, I will leave that as Albee's prerogative to choose his running mate. A running mate nga may ara siya sang full trust and confidence. Ang running mate nga he will be comfortable to work with because this is not about running mate eh. This is about service. Nga kung importante, the vice mayor, the mayor looks eye to eye to have a good working relationship. And that goes not only between the vice mayor and the mayor, to the councilors as well as sa congressman. Because the congressman is the voice in the national. Kinanglan ma-synchronize ini. And more than that, kung si Kong Albee, the synchronization of the province, of different cities and municipalities should work hand to hand. We have to have one voice as a province. So, para sa akon, mahuya ko magdasok sa lawas ko, kag mapresentar, nag-giveaway ko mo. But I did not put any condition. It was a sincere saying, I will not run for mayor, and you have the floor. And give it to him. Kung sinong gusto niya nga congressman, sinong gusto niya nga mayor, nga vice mayor, kag mga councilors.
Interesting.
And if, para sa akon personally, secondary ang position, I may or I may not. Siya bahala.
Let's have a short list ng posibleng kuhaan nyo.
Oh, I would expect, sa akon lang personally, almost puno ng short list ko
For vice mayor to councilors, ha?
Yeah.
Sino? Let's have a few names.
I'm not in that,
I'll say a few names, no? Josel Batapa.
I can speak for in my own personal nga sa encounter with Josel. That's why gapangabay ko. Nagbeg na si Josel sa akon. At first, sabi niya, sige, okay lang ta. Kay I felt though hopeless si Josel of what happened in Bacolod. And she said na, sige, butang na dangalan ko. But when I went back and asked her, sabi niya, I already committed myself sa a job of national interest, something to do with IT. And I think she has a greater responsibility that maustar ang iya talent, mas ma-enhance ang iya talent in a bigger scale. So she begged not to join this election. But I did not lose hope. I'm still sending signals sa iya nga I hope she will reconsider because she is a very good, a leader. Kagkabalo ko nga ang iya nga kausa is kausa man namon.
Lyndon Kanya.
Same story. From the last time I spoke with Attorney Lyndon Kanya, he has other plans on a bigger scale nga hindi lang limited sa Bacolod, kundi in a national arena wherein he felt he can be of help and probably appreciated.
Monico Pontevilla.
I cannot speak in his behalf, no? Kay si Mayor Monico, kay hindi ko gusto nga hearsay lang bala. It has to be coming from him. But what I can only say is the time that we spoke with each other. Nga panahon ta kung ano, something like that.
But then again, it remains to be very fluid, Zubong.
Yes. Okay, there will be a lot of realigning. Expect jumping overboard.
Jumping overboard.
From one ship to another.
You mean people from Grupo Progreso jumping to the united opposition?
Big possibility.
Interesting. Very interesting.
You know, in politics, you don't have permanent friends. How do you say that? Only interests?
Well, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, anything more, sir? Anything more nga nalimtan kung magpamangkot sa imo?
Anything you want to ask?
Anong exciting possibilities ahead?
I'm very excited because change is coming. I'm very excited of so many things because I believe this is part of God's plan that's happening in Bacolod.
Ari, last question. What if si Albee Benitez does not decide to run? What would happen?
I would say I don't want to speculate on that because I already claim it. My faith, my heart is saying that he will be running. But again, you're true. Anything can happen. But abangan ang susunod na kabanata that the first indicator should be his transfer of registration, voters registration. That will be happening before May 9.
Amo nang verifiable nga hitabo.
Yes.
So before May 9, we
But
will
it doesn't mean gani nga mag-transfer siya. You know, ang filing is October pa man mo. October.
But then again, required by law nga dapat transferred na di siya.
Dapat a year before,
before.
if you are a candidate.
Yeah. So very interesting.
Very interesting.
Sir Vadimir Gonzales, salamat kid for dropping by and thank you for your time.
It's always my pleasure, Sir Julius. Sa tanan, madamo gid nga salamat and may God bless us all.